What if your favorite movie star makes grown men cry on set? That behind those million-dollar smiles lie some of Hollywood's most toxic personalities? We're exposing the dark truth about celebrities whose off-camera behavior will permanently change how you see them. From mob-connected crooners to method actors who terrorized co-stars, these aren't demanding perfectionists. They're genuine nightmares who left trails of traumatized crew members and destroyed productions. The industry protected them for decades because money talks louder than human decency. What you're about to discover about number 3 will destroy your faith in Hollywood heroes forever. Number 10. Frank Sinatra, the mob-connected control freak. Frank Sinatra wasn't just smooth with vocals, he was ruthless with everyone around him. The FBI tracked his mob connections for 40 years, documenting interactions with Chicago boss Sam Giancana and other mobsters, though he was never prosecuted. Studios hired special teams to manage Sinatra's explosive behavior because his tantrums shut down entire productions. Imagine being a crew member who moved equipment wrong, knowing your boss regularly partied with guys who made people disappear. What revealed his character was how he treated people who couldn't fight back. Waiters and drivers reported verbal abuse and having food hurled at them when service didn't meet expectations. As Dean Martin said, "You can judge a man by how he treats people who can't do anything for him. But that's child's play compared to what's coming." Number 9. Bruce Willis, the action hero who lost his way. Bruce Willis transformed from beloved die-hard hero into someone directors actively warned each other about. By his later career, Willis decided learning lines was optional, requiring dialogue fed through earpieces during takes. He demanded 4-hour shooting schedules, forcing screenwriters to create scripts where his character vanished for long stretches. Imagine paying Bruce Willis millions, and he's basically part-time. Kevin Smith broke Hollywood's code by calling Willis the unhappiest, most bitter, and meanest person he'd worked with. When directors risk careers to warn people about you, that says everything. The heartbreaking twist? Willis's 2022 aphasia diagnosis gave context to years of seemingly unprofessional behavior. Sometimes the villain is actually the victim. But our next star had no excuse. Number 8. Jennifer Lopez, the block girl who forgot her roots. J.Lo built her brand on being relatable, the girl from the block who made it big. She apparently forgot what those blocks looked like the second fame hit. Working with Lopez requires staff to avoid eye contact unless she initiates it, maintain room temperatures within 1 degree, and provide exclusively white furnishings that must be replaced if anyone else sat on them. She's literally avoiding regular person germs from used furniture. During performances, Lopez demands other artists' microphone levels be lowered regardless of how this destroys musical balance. Her 60-page contract writer can cancel entire appearances for any deviation. The disconnect between Jenny from the block and Don't Look at Me, Jenny is staggering. But this diva behavior is nothing compared to our control freak. Number 7. Edward Norton, the genius who hijacked every set. Edward Norton is so intelligent, he'll explain why everyone else is doing their job wrong. His brilliant performances couldn't mask his compulsive need to control every aspect of filmmaking. Norton doesn't just memorize lines, he rewrites scripts, challenges directors, and becomes an uncredited co-director with veto power. He took Final Cut of American History X from director Tony Kaye, who subsequently disowned the movie. The final nail came with The Incredible Hulk, where his behavior became so disruptive that Marvel Studios recast the role rather than deal with him. Norton's conduct forced Marvel to create new rules about actor control over creative decisions. When Disney money says absolutely not, you've crossed an uncrossable line. Here's the frustrating part. Norton's suggestions often improve projects, but being right doesn't justify psychologically bulldozing everyone around you. Speaking of psychological warfare, Number 6. Russell Crowe, when gladiators become real threats. Russell Crowe transformed from compelling screen presence to someone colleagues genuinely feared might physically harm them. We're talking documented violence requiring security protocols. The 2005 hotel incident provides perfect insight into Crowe's mindset. He was arrested for assaulting a hotel employee with a telephone because his international call wouldn't connect. A minor technical issue became grounds for physical assault. Productions working with Crowe require additional security, behavioral protocols, and expanded insurance policies. As one insurance executive revealed, Russell's policies cost significantly more because of his documented violence history. We've paid claims for property damage and medical expenses. When your movie star requires the same risk management as a natural disaster, maybe reconsider that casting decision. But even Crowe's violence pales next to our legendary nightmare. Number 5. Marlon Brando, the revolutionary who became a monster. Marlon Brando proved that transforming cinema doesn't excuse transforming into a sociopath. His early performances revolutionized acting, but his later career became a masterclass in weaponizing legendary status. Brando arrived completely unprepared, refused learning lines, then used his reputation to psychologically torment everyone. He had dialogue written on cue cards and taped to other actors' bodies. During The Godfather, Al Pacino performed crucial scenes with Brando's lines stuck to his forehead. The horror escalated during Apocalypse Now. Brando arrived overweight and unprepared, then spent weeks psychologically torturing Francis Ford Coppola with bizarre character interpretations having zero connection to the script. Most disturbing was The Last Tango in Paris incident, where Brando and director Bernardo Bertolucci reportedly manipulated co-star Maria Schneider without consent, using her genuine distress for authentic reactions. This wasn't method acting. It was calculated psychological abuse that traumatized her for years. But even Brando's cruelty doesn't compare to what's next. Number 4. Judy Garland, the tragedy that destroyed everyone. Judy Garland's story breaks your heart, then makes you angry. Her extraordinary talent made her cinema's beloved figure, but working with her became professional terrorism for everyone else. Garland's prescription drug addiction and mental health issues created environments where nobody knew if she'd show up, what condition she'd be in, or whether she'd complete scenes. During summer stock, medication caused weight fluctuations, forcing production shutdowns and expensive reshoots. Directors spent more time managing Garland's crises than directing films. During A Star is Born, she demanded script changes to diminish James Mason's role because insecurities made her feel threatened by his talent. Studio executive Arthur Freed said it best. Everyone loved Judy, and everyone dreaded working with her. But even this tragedy doesn't prepare you for our most shocking revelation. Number 3. Method actors who weaponized their craft. Most shocking. Here's why this earns our most shocking spot. These actors' artistic process became literal workplace terrorism, leaving permanent psychological scars. Shia LaBeouf turned method acting into sadistic performance art. During the necessary death of Charlie Countryman, he reportedly took LSD while filming. For Lawless, he pulled his own tooth and refused bathing for weeks, forcing co-stars to endure his stench during intimate scenes. During Fury, LaBeouf escalated to cutting his face with knives for realistic scars and expected co-stars like Brad Pitt to accommodate increasingly dangerous behavior. Most disturbing were incidents with female co-stars, where his method work allegedly crossed boundaries between performance and assault. Jared Leto made LaBeouf look reasonable. His Suicide Squad preparation involved sending used condoms to Margot Robbie, dead rats to cast members, and maintaining his Joker persona between takes, creating genuine fear. During Morbius, Leto remained in character during breaks and emergencies, creating environments where co-workers never knew whether they were interacting with a colleague or an unpredictable character who might threaten them. Both actors continue getting cast despite traumatizing colleagues. The industry decided their results justify the psychological cost to everyone working alongside them. In any other workplace, this would be criminal harassment. But call it method acting, and abuse becomes artistic dedication. Number 2. Klaus Kinski, the maniac who made murder seem reasonable. Klaus Kinski represents the absolute pinnacle of dangerous celebrity behavior. His intense screen presence couldn't mask conduct that made colleagues fear for their lives. During Aguirre, Kinski fired rifles at crew members, threatened vanishing into the Amazon, and created such terror that local extras asked director Werner Herzog if they could eliminate Kinski for protection. Indigenous people who'd never encountered Hollywood asked permission to commit murder because an actor frightened them so badly. Kinski's behavior suggested genuine mental instability. He actively enjoyed creating fear, escalating minor conflicts to life-threatening levels. His treatment of co-star Isabel Adjani during Nosferatu was so brutal, she required therapy, and described it as psychological rape. Most chilling detail, Werner Herzog openly admitted seriously considering having Kinski murdered because his behavior became so dangerous that homicide seemed the only way protecting everyone else. When professionals contemplate murder as reasonable response to your workplace conduct, you've achieved a category of terrible transcending normal human behavior. Number 1. The system that created these monsters. Here's the most shocking revelation. Every personality continued working and traumatizing people because Hollywood decided their talent justified any human cost. From Sinatra's mob connections to Kinski's violence, each generation pushed boundaries further while facing virtually no consequences. The escalation is disturbing. Unprofessionalism evolves into psychological manipulation, then harassment, and finally, physical danger. But the calculation remains constant. If you're profitable enough, any behavior becomes acceptable. The entertainment we consume often emerges from environments where power imbalances created devastating human costs invisible to audiences. Behind every beloved performance might be psychological warfare, terror, or systematic abuse, covered up because the final product generated enough revenue justifying the human suffering that created it. These aren't just individual bad behavior stories. They're symptoms of an industry structure prioritizing commercial success over basic human dignity. Hollywood created a culture where abuse gets rebranded as artistic temperament, violence gets excused as creative passion, and harassment gets celebrated as dedication. The real shocking truth isn't just that these personalities existed, it's that an entire industry was built to protect them as long as they remained profitable. That system still exists today. Which revelation shocked you most? Did you know about these method actors' dangerous behavior? What other difficult Hollywood personalities deserved a spot? Drop your thoughts below. We're curious which stories completely changed how you see these stars. If this deep dive into Hollywood's protected monsters opened your eyes, smash that like button and subscribe for more investigations, exposing dark truths behind your favorite entertainment. Hit that notification bell so you never miss when we reveal industry secrets they don't want you to know. Remember, the stars you worship might be the people others have nightmares about were.